The RPG, or role-playing game, is a video game genre that has struggled to maintain a consistent definition over the years, and I believe that is because many games borrow the underlying concepts that make RPGs appealing, even if those games primarily classify under a different genre. For example, many action and adventure games use role-playing to enrich their combat or story structure through character progression and player choice respectively. Unfortunately, because of this overlap, there is a lot of gray area surrounding what gameplay elements strictly constitute the term RPG. In this video, I plan to establish what these core elements are, and provide the most definitive assertion possible as to what a quality role-playing game looks like. RPGs are governed by only a few central ideas which can be experimented with to create some of the most deep and engaging experiences in the medium. If we are strictly talking about role-playing games, then the biggest concern is to create a game world which gives the players the tools to craft their own adventure as much as possible. Player choice is perhaps the one distinct characteristic of the genre, and is commonly implemented through an open-ended mission structure and/or high character customizability. While many RPGs opt to focus on a linear, mandatory campaign, the best RPGs offer a plethora of optional quests, missions, or other objectives scattered throughout the game world, which the player may freely choose from. While the objectives themselves may be fairly scripted, the player ultimately chooses which ones to accept, resulting in what feels like a personalized adventure for each playthrough. Because the game world serves as a set piece for adventure and storytelling, it is important that the world building be thorough and consistent. Everything must make sense in context and have purpose in the in-game universe. This includes things like character and creature design, level design, music, sound effects, etc. The goal is total immersion, and anything that could potentially disrupt that should be reevaluated. But perhaps the greatest example of player choice and/or role-playing is character customization. Regardless of how much control the player has over the identity of a character, the game should offer a healthy selection of gameplay styles of which the player may choose. Two common examples of this would be multiple combat builds and multiple playable characters, each with unique strengths and weaknesses. Over the course of the game, the player will develop the skills and gameplay styles he or she has chosen, and witness their characters grow and improve through their experience, whether by leveling up or by other more creative means. Because any gameplay style could potentially be chosen, they should all be reasonably viable for game completion, and the player should never be heavily punished for pursuing certain styles of play. Utilizing these components effectively gives role-playing games a powerful and unique opportunity to affect its player base on an emotional level that other genres cannot. It is the player's efforts to personalize the game that makes the process of seeing their characters evolve over the adventure satisfying. This is how RPGs evoke sentimental feelings for those who invest the time and energy. The role-playing aspects are achieved by giving players options to experience the game in their own way, most notably through the addition of multiple gameplay styles. It is a genre that relies heavily on the underlying concepts of thorough world building and the freedom of player choice.